Check out 5-Star Fish Houses, home of the original Lindell Ice Rig in Otter Tail.
Hi everyone, I'm Dick Beardsley. Welcome to the fishing scene. Crappie fishing. In the summertime, it can be pretty tough at times, but it depends on certain lakes where those fish are going to be. On many of our lakes in the summer, you're going to find those crappies out along some of those deep cabbage patches, some of those areas where the water drops off into real deep water. Other lakes, like we're on today, have a real nice area where there's lily pads that pretty much go around the entire lake. And, oh, there's a nice crappie there. My good friend Tony Buckner from Denver, Colorado is with us today. Tony, nice crappie.
Thanks, Dick.
Yeah, that's a dandy. Why don't you hold that one up there to the folks? And, you know, they're not huge crappies, but boy, nice fish. And what we're doing here, folks, as I was mentioning, is that on a lot of lakes, the lily pads will come out to the edge of some real deep water. And that can be a key to where you're going to find those crappies year-round, especially in the summertime. Now what we're doing here is we're casting up towards those lily pads, letting these small jigs sink to the bottom, or not sink to the bottom, but let those small jigs sink, about halfway down, and then just kind of a steady, slow retrieve. And you want to make sure you retrieve it I just missed one, all the way back to the boat, because a lot of times those fish, they'll follow it right up until you just about bring it out of the water. Now those fish aren't down on the bottom. We're in about 15 foot of water, but those fish are about anywhere from 7 to 8 feet down. They're suspended. Now a lot of people think that when you're talking suspended crappies, you're going to be fishing in 40 feet of water, and those crappies will be 20 feet down. That happens on some lakes, but on this particular lake, we're in about 15 feet, and those crappies are about 6-7 feet off the bottom. We're using a Lindy little nipper jig with a small plastic tail, or a Lindy little, or I should say a Lindy quiver jig, also with a small plastic tail. And we're just casting them out in just really a slow, steady retrieve. Got one there, Tone?
Yes, I do.
Oh boy.
Oh, I just got
you
off.
Get off?
Yep.
We've mentioned this many times too, folks, that those crappies have such that paper-thin type of mouth that they can really wiggle off pretty easily. And if you get a big fish on there, you're going to probably want to either, there's a fish, use your net, or dip them in over with your hand. There's a little better fish, I think. Maybe not. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. Not a bad crappie, huh?
Oh, he's a nice one.
Yeah. And like I said, folks, what we're using here, I'll show you right now. A small Lindy little nipper jig, 1/32 ounce, with a small 1-inch plastic tail with these little legs that come off of it. Tying it directly to the line, just casting it out there, and a real steady retrieve. Now remember, with these light jigs like this, even when those fish suspended down only 7-8 feet below the surface, you got to really let that sink for a little bit, and just a slow, steady retrieve. Otherwise, you're going to be bringing it right across the top of the water. There's one. And you won't feel a real hard bite. This is a little guy here. All of a sudden, just to feel a little bit of a pull, and boom, want to set that hook. Now, obviously, it's always fun to catch bigger fish. Hey, you got one there, Tone?
Yep.
All right, buddy. This is fun, though, folks. Yeah, I'm telling you. That was a nice crop, Tone.
Yeah, he's not too bad.
Yeah. Now some lakes are known for, having bigger crappies. Some are known for having smaller fish. This lake here, you'll get an occasional big fish, but you'll also get a lot of action, and you'll catch a number of eaten-sized fish if that's what you're looking to do. There's one. And it's a great way to get the kids involved in fishing. Oh, that's a little guy there. That's a little one here, but you know what? The little ones eventually, if they're let go and don't get eaten by bigger predator fish, we're going to go into those bigger fish. Now, you know, you hear me talk about the electronics you need to have in your boats and to be, you know, catch a lot of fish. Well, on lakes like this, you could be out here in a canoe, a paddle boat, a power boat, doesn't matter, and you don't even need your electronics. What you want to do is just cast towards those pads, let it sink a little bit, and then slowly start to retrieve. Oh, I just missed one. Those pads will come out until the water gets too deep, and so you know that's where the kind of that so-called break line is. And you can actually see this one above the surface, so it makes it pretty gosh darn simple. That one, Tone?
Oh, very little one.
Little guy, yeah, very. We're catching all sizes of them today. And what you can do is work an area. If they quit biting there, just kind of keep working on and down the line a little bit until you make more fish contact. And I'm using my electric motor to kind of hold us out a little bit from the pads. There's one. And also move around. Oh, double, Tone. Oh, did you get off? That's all right. We're putting them back anyhow. Folks, it's easy fishing. Anybody can do it. You'll have plenty of action. More of the fishing scene coming up after this. It's time now for our fishing scene tip of the week. When fishing for crappies or any other kind of panfish for that matter, you want to go with the right size equipment. Go with light line, light jigs, light action rods or ultralight action rods, small reels, and you too can have lots of fun even catching the real small fish. Welcome back, folks, to the fishing scene. Hey, Tony Buckton and Tony's from Denver, Colorado, and we're having a great time out here crappie fishing. Now, the fish aren't real big, but boy, I'll tell you what, folks, plenty of action. Our weather conditions for today are like this. We have a northeast wind, at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Water temperature is 68 degrees, air temperature about 58. So it's a chilly day for July, and water clarity is tabled at good. Oh, there's one. Boy, Tone, that one hit right as just before I brought it in. That's just a little one there. But as I was saying, folks, we're not, catching big fish today, but we're getting plenty of action, and we have caught some that are some nice eating size fish too. We're dealing with unseasonably cold weather for this time of the year. Obviously, with the temperature, it's 58 degrees. It's about noontime, and it should be probably about 20 degrees warmer. Oh, missed him. 20 degrees warmer than it is. That's why we're kind of bundled up today. And that can have a little bit of an adverse effect on these fish. Right now, we're on a spot that, the bite's been pretty consistent. And they'll bite for a while on different spots, and then they'll quit, and there'll be another school of them on down the line a little bit. So just keep moving around. Now you can notice I'm not anchored. I like to keep the boat out away from the pads, and by anchoring it, it just takes that much more time to get up and move on down the line a little bit. Tone, what about crappie fishing in Colorado? Do you have some lakes there that hold some pretty good populations of crappies?
Few of the lakes here in Colorado, we do have really good crappie fishing.
Yeah.
But it's a hit or miss situation. You have to be out there right at the certain time.
Sure. And that's nice around northern Minnesota is that you know, a lot of the lakes have really nice populations of crappies in them, and the key, you know, in the springtime, early spring, when they're up there in that shallow water spawning, they're pretty easy pickings then, but it's in the summertime when those crappies can get more hard to find than the walleyes.
Fish on.
How are you, Tony? How's it feel, buddy?
Oh, little guy. These poles sure make a nice fishing.
Well, they do, you know, and again, you want to, you know, if you can, use the proper equipment for the type of fish you're going after. Now, granted, I know, you know, you can't go out and buy a different pole. Most people can't for every species, but if you go with, you know, like a 6 to 6.5 foot medium light, there's a fish, medium light rod, you know, graphite rod, decent reel, that'll pretty much give you a pretty good all-around type of rod and reel. And you know, if you spooled it up with 6-pound monofilament like the Berkeley XL that we're using today, you'll you know what, you'll have a great time, and you'll be able to catch big fish and little fish too. Hey, Tone, another fish on, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Must be lunchtime down there.
Yeah. And what we've done here, folks, is we've moved down just a little bit, not much, maybe 25 yards, and found another school that are a little more aggressive feeding fish.
Fish
Hey,
on,
Tony,
dude.
you got one, buddy?
Yes, I do.
Fish on, huh, buddy?
Fish on, buddy.
All right.
Fish on. He's a little guy. Fun to catch.
Yeah, fun to get. Well, and especially, you know, if we're out here using, you know, medium heavy action rods with, you know, 15-pound test down there, it's like, well, you don't even have, you know, you wouldn't even be able to tell you have a fish. But that's why, you know, it's, you know, if you downsize according to the type of fish you're catching, even the small ones, Tone, make it lots of fun, don't they?
Yes, they do, especially on these nice rods.
Now, Tone just made a really great cast there, folks. You want to get in really, you know, you can see these little pockets that are made in the pads there, and you don't want to get way on the inside pockets because you're going to get hung up on those pads. But on the outside, just where Tony made a nice cast to, a lot of times you'll find those fish hiding right in those little pockets like that. There we go.
Fish on?
Yep. Oh, nice one.
Nice
one.
Yeah.
There's a nicer fish. Hey, folks, huh? Look at that. Aren't they just a pretty fish? And we're basically catching them one after another. Some are bigger ones like this, some are smaller ones, but hey, we're having lots of fun. What I was noticing there on that one is I saw some fish right straight out underneath the boat and going back. So what I did was I casted parallel to the back end of my boat and just slow reeled it in, and sure enough, bingo.
Fish on.
Tone, you got one, bud?
Yes, sir.
All right, Tone. Oh, that's a nicer one.
Yes, it is. It's a nicer one.
We'll be back with more action on the fishing scene after this. There's a fish. Fish on, Tone?
Fish on.
All right, buddy. Oh, that's a little nicer one. Yeah. Hey, nice one. Nice crop. Now you cast it out there in one of those pockets, you start reeling her in, and
Yes, I did.
bingo.
right alongside those lily pads.
Now, Tone, you got, let's see, let me see your jig there. You got, okay, yep, you got a chartreuse whitehead jig with it's a Lindy little nipper jig, and then you've got that salt and pepper type of a tail on there.
They
Seems to be working
like
pretty
that.
good. I've got that pink and white Lindy little nipper jig with a black and chartreuse type tail on mine. Ooh, did you miss one, Tone?
Yeah, help. Oh, we got a double.
You get one, Tone?
Yes, sir.
I got this one right behind the boat.
And this one was right out in front of the boat.
They are on the bite, no question about that. Little guy.
Little guy. Best thing is, he'll be back in the lake so somebody else can catch him.
That's right. And he has that chance to get bigger. Tony's casting in towards the pads. I'm going more parallel to the pads, and we're both catching fish. Remember, folks, crappies are schooling fish. When you catch one, you're going to catch others. And unlike walleyes that might school up in groups of 6, 15, maybe 20 at max, crappies will school up by the hundreds. No kid. Hey, Tone, another fish. Oh, we just got off there at the boat. But yeah, crappies will school up by the hundreds, if not the thousands, and they'll move up and down like they are here. They're moving all along the edge of these pads. And you'll get little groups here, bigger groups here, and sometimes you'll get them all strung out along the whole way.
Fish on.
All right, buddy. Oh,
Feels
yeah.
like a little bit
A
better
little
one.
nicer crappie, huh?
Nice crappie.
You betcha. Nice crappie, Tone. Nice crappie. Good crappie, yep. They are pretty fish. I love that, kind of that purple tinge along the top of their back.
Real nice.
There's one, Tone.
Another one, Dick?
Yeah.
Looks like a better one.
Yeah, it feels a little bit, yeah. Nicer fish. Yeah. How about that, huh? Down south, Tone, they call them specks.
Speck?
Yep, just because of the black specks on them.
Really?
Just like, you know, down south, they call the sunfish brim and or some of those, the crappies, what we call them crappies, they pronounce it crappie.
Crappie.
Wait, we got crappie down here. Sometimes the crappie fishing is pretty crappy. That's what they'll say.
Are these these are silver crappie, not black crappie, right?
Yeah, well, no, these are black crappie here.
Are they?
Yeah, we get a few white crappie up in this neck of the woods, but for the most part, there's one. Most of them are black crappies. So they're back on again, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
A little guy here. You know, as you can see, folks, we've been catching all sizes of them. Some, you know, 3/4 of a pound, other ones that are, you know, about 1/4 of a pound or less than that. Got the hot hand there, Tone.
Yes, I do.
Atta boy. Oh, Beards has got one too.
I had a dub there.
You know what, Tone, this is fun, isn't it?
Yes, it
It's a
is.
nice crappie. Yeah, look at that, folks. Nice fish, huh? Pretty fish. Got one, Tone?
Yep.
All right, buddy. There's one. Come here, buddy. There we go. Hey, not a bad fish. Hey folks, crappie fishing in the summertime. Hey, find a lake, you got some lily pads around those edges where it drops off into some deeper water, small jigs, a little plastic, light line, light rods, and you too can have plenty of action just like we did for today. Please remember to practice selective harvesting. By doing so, we'll continue to have great fishing for years to come. For my friend Tony Buckta, my camera gal Raina Benson, I'm Dick Beardsley. Have yourselves a great day on the water.
A big thanks to all of the sponsors that make this show possible. Don't forget to check out our website at fishingscene.com.